Tell me where the girl is, or I swear to you, I'm gonna French fry this little freak.
Let's do it. You shoot my guy and I'll blast him. Let's go. Do it, Quill. I can take it.
No, he can't take it.
She's right, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
This is the TED animation tutorial part 2. So this is all about facial motion capture, where your old host left off, because he only did motion capture like only the body and stuff. Now we're also gonna do facial motion capture. So we have the 3D model here. Now there's one thing I think Dan left off when he was doing the tutorial in part 1, and that's rigging. I think he just kind of went over the rigging kind of fake. So I found a program because, I mean, a fan, shout out Topstar, he asked me recently what I want to make, what I want to rig his 3D models, and mostly it worked, but some models were like with swords or with some other stuff in the back, like parademons. So I found a program. You do need an account on it, but it's pretty easy to make. It's called Mixamo, and it's like one of the best auto riggers I know, and also really easy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert my 3D model to an object model. Just click on the 3D model, file, export, and then object. He's already rigged, which this is just in case. This is just for the tutorial. Export. Alright. So in Mixamo you can just upload any 3D character you have, as long as it's DAE, object, or FBX. So I'm just gonna go to the files, to the models Topster gave me when he asked me, shout out again, to rig them. Just gonna put the parademon on there, just to stress the point of how great this auto rigger on Mixamo is. It's from Adobe too, so Adobe is awesome. So like you see, it doesn't take the texture. You can just export a rigged 3D model again and put the texture on in Blender. So the chin, wrists, like you see right here, elbows, somewhere right here probably, yeah, his knees, and his they call it groin, but I'd call it something else. Now you can actually change it from standard skeleton to 3 chain fingers, 2 chain fingers, or even no fingers, like when you cut them off or whatever, when you're depth tool. Alright, now this is gonna take 2 minutes, so this will give us a lot of more time to talk about the room. So what do you think about the room? I thought it was pretty awesome. Tell me which was great, yeah, stuff like that. Have you seen the Disaster Artist? Have you guys seen that movie? I don't know whether it's good, but it seems really good. And I actually want to see more about the making of the room. Weird enough. So yeah, you know. You're going to destroy Johnny. He's very sensitive. Leave your stupid comments in your pocket, you son of a bitch. Sorry. Alright, this is just great. Look, just go next. Has been uploaded. Next. There are a lot of standard animations. Sorry. That you can put in here. Then you can just click download, and it's gonna ask you whether you want it with the animation with the skin or not. Most of the time you would, but right now I'm not gonna add one of those animations. I'm gonna export it to FBX, and I'm just gonna click download. So it's downloading, it takes a moment. Downloading asset. Click alright. Right. It's most of the time for me it says that it can't find it for some reason, but it actually can find it. So that's one of the kind of weird things about this. So I'm going back here, file, import FBX, desktop, parademon full one, import. Where is it? Sometimes it, you know, puts a real small parademon on there. Like in this example is really small. I'm just gonna scale it up quite a bit. I also I love Blender 2.8, but one thing I'd change if I were the developers is put this button back here, because this button is just so great for example, for 3D models that you have, such as characters. But besides that, you guys did a really great job. Oh wait, you can actually still do it with S. I'm sorry, I didn't say anything, guys. Blender 2.8 is awesome. Right here. So you can't see the skin now, but when I click it and click on XRay, wherever that may be. Right here, go here and click XRay. Here, then when you do Control P, object keep transform. Now I like to see, I mean, even where you're moving his hand, the thing that he has on his back moves with him. So I think that's really great. So that was that. Alright, let's just go on with the facial motion capture. So, you know, I know Dan said that this wouldn't cost any money, but he was kind of lying, because for the facial motion capture he used FClock. Now, just don't click this video away, just hear me out. First there used to be phase shift, alright? Phase shift was free, but then Apple bought the facial motion capture program for on their phones or iPhones or whatever. And now, well, phase shift isn't really anywhere to download. So the other thing that he used was FClone. Now listen, FClone, it's money, but you're going to have to invest in it. I mean, it has a free trial, so that's a good thing, but you're going to have to invest in like all of this. It isn't that much even. You can just use a free trial. And if I'm right, it has the Blender pipeline down. Apparently has a Blender pipeline. Why didn't we know that? Just let me, yeah, here. Like this, personal. It's for video, movie, YouTube, game development, commercial use, and for personal use only, single PC. So that's one PC. That's kind of a hassle, but you get used to it. Only 60 bucks, because it has 34% off on it. And listen, we tried our asses off to find any facial motion capture program that's free and actually does work with shape keys in Blender. So just, you know, maybe you can find one on the internet that works with face keys or shape keys, I'm sorry. But we couldn't, and I don't think one even exists anymore after phase shift. So it's, you know, 60 bucks, a couple of days of working. Maybe you even have 60 bucks right now. When you're not doing anything with it, just buy the program. I mean, it's a great program. It does the work it should. By the way, in this tutorial we're gonna work with two Blender versions. One is the Blender 2.79 version and the other is Blender 2.8. Now the reason why we're doing that is because some of the plugins that I'm using, like for example not only facial motion capture, also motion capture itself, some of them don't exist for the 2.8 version yet. The developers still need to put that out there. The reason why I'm not just rendering it out here is because rendering with facial motion capture and normal body motion capture combined, it takes up a lot of time. Now Blender 2.8 has an awesome viewport animation render button, what I'm going to show you at the end of this tutorial, and that just works. It's amazing. Like, I love 2.8 already, even now it's the demo version, but I still love it. Alright, let me just put this motion capture off here. And what I'm gonna do also is just go to the shape key step, relative. There we go. Alright, So now I'm gonna explain some things for jaws, for example. These are shape keys. Now how you can make these, this is a weird normal shape key. It should be there by default. If it isn't, just click on plus. And if you want to add any new shape keys, just click on plus. So what you can do then is, if you click on your character already, you should have, because it's his shape keys, go to edit mode. And now I want to move his jaw. Just click B to get this one here. Now sometimes it can be pretty annoying because you have to, it doesn't select everything, so you have to find a lot of these things back. Now that's gonna take a lot of work. Just for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm not gonna do that. So then move this up, like for example it also selected the eye, which is not supposed to. Now move this up, go back to object mode. Now if you go here now, it seems like nothing has changed, but when you do this, you can see, and of course you're gonna have to really click on each mouthpiece to make it look perfect, like I mostly did with those things. So that's how you make shape keys. Now you're gonna have, asshole. Now you're gonna have to make all of these different shape keys. For example, this, the cheek squint R, that's this. I'm just gonna go through these shape keys, then you can make them yourself. The cheek squint left, puff, that's this. The sneer, it's him looking angry, but I don't really use that much. The sneer L, now you don't have to use all of this. For example, if you're like, you know, I only want this character to be moving with his mouse. How am I talking? To be moving with his mouth, or with only his eyes and mouth, for example. You can only use that, but maybe it'd be useful to know which shape keys to use. So I'm just gonna go through all of these shape keys real fast. I think this is the kiss, isn't it? Kind of, yes. Lip spark. Oh no, this is the kiss. Look, I'm kissing you. It's cute. Here, right here, right here.
This one. Just put the music beat or some of the bodies under this and editing. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. This one. It took a while for this tutorial to be out, didn't it? It's like, I think it's like a couple of years or maybe a year away from the first tutorial. Oh shit, that's pretty long. Why the hell the blues? Really, YouTube? Standing man. Now this is left because it's easier, because I started in this view. So in this angle is left. Close together. Almost there. Jaws and face. Alright. Browse you are. Browse you out. Browse you these two. It's both. Yes. This one. I'm sorry. You like to see there's some, for example, this part right here, it moves, but mostly you won't be able to notice it, and when you do, you just need to change that.
When you click on for example, the smile and go to edit mode, like it won't change. So what you gonna need to do is put the smile on 100 or 1000. I'm sorry. Put it in edit mode, and then you can like edit all those things out if you want. What's that? 0 again. Smile, right?
The base is the one that should be there by default, by the way. But this one should be there.
And maybe it isn't working, but that's because this one needs to be put on this one needs to be put on this, and it also needs to be put on relative. So in that way it should all work just fine. Now when you go to FClone now, sorry guys, I don't have FClone installed on this PC yet for my Blender plugin. I mostly do it on the computer upstairs, but you know, shit happens. And I went here because here's the only computer where the FClone original program is. Right, Blender pipeline, PI. Let me just copy that, but it's somewhere in my desktop. Always easier. Or in our desktop. Okay. Blender file. Oh, this, by the way, this is pretty helpful too, so you know how you can install the add-on. Just go to the website, did what I just did, go to user preferences, install add-on from file, find it wherever it is. There we go. Clone pipeline. Then click this one, save user settings, and then you can just close it. Now I don't know if it actually applies it here by default or that I need to restart my computer. No, it does it by default. That's good. So I think this, all of this already recognized, for example, the JAWS, recognize the mouse open, the browse DY, recognize the browse outer right. 2 should be somewhere here, jaw open 2. Put on mouse open. Just gonna open this one again. Now it does take up some time, depends on how long the file is. Now you can actually see him talk. It's been a long time since I've done this, so I'm sorry about that. Just gotta find, because the basis isn't mouse open. Mouse open should be, well, the browse. It's kind of weird that he's still talking though, so I think that's because of the smile left, smile right, smile probably. Now when you saved or have a previous version, it would be a pretty good idea to just save the preset to your desktop and load it on your different PC, so you know you don't have what I'm having right now. But you just need to map all of these things to each other. So for example, if I click add mapping, yeah, spaces and mouth open again, nice. If I click that, for example, browse DY, just find the browse, for example this one, and click app mapping. Now the browse DY is at the browse outer right down. I think it maps it on the wait, let me just chin up erase, really random one that I don't think is in here already. Click, where is the chin? Right here. I don't think this one has a chin, but I'm just gonna do cheek right up, click app mapping, right here, chin up erase, cheek right up. And that's how you just need to apply all of these shape keys to itself. Now what I do sometimes I don't even use facial motion capture. Sometimes I just want to animate only the mouth. So what I'm gonna do to delete all of this, just B, select all of it and click delete keyframes. Now it's kind of annoying because if you also already have your motion capture right here, him moving, his body moving, and you delete all of this, it's kind of annoying because it actually deletes all data it knows. So that's kind of annoying, but most of the time I have to write motion capture, facial motion capture, and when I don't, I just use Ctrl+C to kind of get it back to how things used to be. Now let's say for example, there's a shot from a movie I recently made, and I only wanted to animate his mouth because he was eating. So what you need to do then is you go right here, you click on the Y key on your keyboard. But if you click Y while you're on this, it's not gonna work. So what you need to do is click on this, move your mouse to go here and click Y while you're on that. That way it's gonna add the keyframes. So then whenever you want the mouth to be fully open, go to wherever you want it to open, then put on 100 and click Y again, but it should apply it by default, the animation. And then when you play it back, It's kind of slow, so let me just put it right here. You can actually see, like, wow, his mouth is moving. Right here, you can see that this thing moves, which is not supposed to. That's mostly why I actually only use the jaws open tool. So that's another one I added later on because I just thought this one kind of failed, to be honest. So I added that later on. And right here, if you go back to jaws 2, you can see that that's way better than what it was before. So a lot of this is like trial and error, for example. So you just need to try a lot of things, add a lot of the mappings to whatever you needed to add it to, and then you're mostly done. Now, motion capture and facial motion capture adds a lot of reality to, for example, animations, but also for example, even live action movies. I love live action movies that use motion capture and facial motion capture because I think it's a really cool tool, and I think we're pretty proud that we're actually able to make this. Actually, we got that model from the internet, shout out. But we kind of edited it to how we liked it. He kind of edited it to how he liked it and applied a lot of different textures to it. And then we were really proud that, well, the motion capture and facial motion capture finally worked. But you know, it isn't just the motion capture or facial motion capture. It's also photorealism. And I think facial motion capture works best when you actually have something to let your 3D model interact with. For example, when the 3D model was eating in that one scene in the movie, I did a lot of different things. Maybe that would be a tutorial in the future, I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna try, maybe attempt that. And yeah, maybe it'll be a part 3 now. So what I'm now gonna do is I'm gonna download Blender 2.8. I love Blender 2.8. Alright, download Blender 2.8, download, let's go. I think this actually isn't the beta version anymore. That's pretty cool. They already released it. I have the beta version on my computer upstairs, but that still doesn't mean that everyone has their trials or their plugins actually in 2.8 mode. But this is a very easy, what I'm gonna do is a very easy fix. You can just do whatever you want with it. Now for this you need to have Blender 2.8 and Blender 2.79. So you can just Blender 2.79, click download, I don't know. Just open with, I don't know which one is the right Blender, I think it's this one. Right? Yes. Alright, so now I love Blender 2.8. I think it's really great. I'm just gonna put it right here. Now if I put this, like, this is wireframe mode. You already know this mode is material mode, but this is where the real stuff comes in. Like, it's put on cycles, so it's a long time running. Let me just put on Eevee. I love Eevee, man. Go here. Now, yes, I need to. Oh, it's kind of weird because they let it be left mouse clicking. So it's kind of not what I'm used to, but I think they should have just started with left to begin with. In Eevee, you can actually put, like in cycles, for example, textures on your material, so that helps like a lot. Now you can choose which one you want. Most of the time for me I use this one, besides when I don't have much light in my scene. So what you can do then is click this. This is amazing. When you go view, I'm just gonna do viewport render image, but when you have motion capture and you're moving character, just do viewport render animation. I'm gonna do this one because it does move. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this one. Now, you'll see all of this stuff right here in the back, which is not what you want. But this renders so much faster, and you can actually put all of this away. So when you click on this thing and this thing, all of it goes away. Now, you don't even need a camera, for example. Like you have this guy, just gonna move this one right here, move, sorry, wrong one. I'm just gonna move this right here. I'm gonna turn this off again. You don't even need a camera. Your view in the viewport is a camera. Now what you can also do is go render animation. That's rendering your camera, but I think it takes up a lot of time, this render, and I think the viewport render is the view render is just so much faster, and you can actually get cool results with it too. So I'm gonna go right here. Now, there's one thing I need to do. Go to the output, change it wherever you want to save it, put it on AVI JPEG. Just, I don't know, probably gonna do, no wait, sorry, test tutorial 1, accept it, go to viewport and viewport render animation. Now this is going to take a while depending on how long your motion capture file is and your facial motion capture file, but it's so much faster than just the viewport render. When you want to get out of it, just click on escape. It's gonna save it. It's still gonna save it. Now when I go to desktop, right here, Control V, and here it is. It's 1 second, a lot, but you know, most of the time I actually change like how fast it is, because this is really slow from Blender out of the gate. So most of the time I just, in After Effects, I put the speed and duration on like 150 maybe, or longer or less sometimes, depends on the scene. So what you still have a green screen around this. Now there's a way in Blender where you can put a lot of your stuff and video in the background, but I'm not a fan of how you need to do that with nodes, because I'm a sucker at nodes. So what you need to do is you need to go to After Effects after you save this, drop the video in right there, just click on Effects, keying, key like 1.2, click on the little dropper tool, click your green screen on your green screen, and then bloop, it should be fine, it should be working, and if it isn't, just change some of those settings, and then it's cool. Now, a cool thing is shadows add a lot to the realism in your scene. So whenever there's a scene where there should be shadows, put shadows there, because I think it just looks so much better when you do than when you don't. Like the realism is like out of the gate, it's like unreal. And yeah, so well, that was actually the second part of the TED motion capture tutorial. Like, this took a long while. Gonna probably edit a lot of it out, because a lot of it's just nonsense and me talking about the movie The Room. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Just like this video if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to like this video also, and just tell me in the comments if we helped you with both of these tutorials. Sorry it took such a long time, there's just a lot that came up. And yeah, just remember, have fun with motion capture. I mean, when you do it too much at times, it can get so frustrating when it doesn't work. So just remember, have fun, because when you have fun, I actually came up with something you're gonna see right after I do my bye-bye talk. So bye, thanks for watching. Alright, you're gonna see it right now.
You know what to do with that big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. pictures while you do your dance. I can make you famous on Instagram.
Fuck you, Uganda!